remain mixed. We are seeing different factors driving different markets up and down for different reasons. Put the nature of stock market anytime, any day. And that is why ability to understand market volatility and catching the right time, buying low and selling high, and also watching momentum and money flow to know the direction that market is flowing is very, very important. That means no one single indicator or one single strategy in the market is just enough for you. You must understand the market world dynamics. You must understand the direction of this market before be able to make money from it in any cycle. You must pay attention to this whenever you are in the market because that is the only way you can make money in this market. You don't just make money by following bandwagon or just investing in impulse. You must understand what you are doing in the market, and that's the beauty of stock market. Yes, we say that the market is mixed globally, but in all, there are some industries, there are some factors that are also creating weight for investors in this market or traders or market player, anyone you want to call it. But good thing is that, as usual, we want to look at what is happening in Asia, we look at Europe market and also. But today we're looking at the NGX pullback. Is it a buy opportunity or is it the end of the bull run? We'll come to that and see how we can navigate a pullback that we just see, that we just saw yesterday, and that also we're seeing the market trying to to rebound, but still we're seeing a slow market at this midday. But let's see what is happening globally. When we come back to this market, we can also discuss it extensively. Yes, looking at what is happening in Asia market. Asia market, as we speak, is mixed. Yes, today is last trading day of the week. I'll tell you that profit taking or that have supported, profit taking from the so-called the tech industry of technology that have advanced before now, and also that is what have weighed down the market. Even we're seeing some positive earnings coming from some chip manufacturing companies or chip maker chips making companies. But the positive numbers also have given insight. But the losses we are seeing also in other sectors also have also limited the gain. And that for that, I believe that this profit taking is like I tell you that is part and parcel of the market. Other regional markets, in that same region, sorry, that same regions was also like there are some mild positive gain, led in what as we see that US market today also are open in green. That also have supported those some tech companies also that they miss, and some bank results also have come that also have helped the market to break out from the 2 days losses we have seen in also in US market. But when that yes, initial market, all eyes are still on corporate earnings, and I believe that also have a way of weighing what on this on the market in that region. Even the heightened and geopolitical tensions across the globe has also remained in focus for many investors. With the unrest we are still seeing in Iraq, even as US also invasion or what say in Venezuela have keep market optimism a bit slow. Almost that is why market is still kind of understudy or understanding or analyzing this dimension we are seeing in the political tension, how it's going to affect. But I tell you, with all eyes on the last quarter, which is Q4 number, we expect to see that yes, many companies that have recorded the positive number right from the first quarter of 2025 to the end, we expect to see a good full year result. But like I said earlier, that even with the profit taking some tech company, we are seeing that the result that came from the chip company also supported some market all to weigh in green. That is what we are seeing. But I tell you that South Korea, as we speak now, because I believe that is where we are seeing this big local chip makers also, Samsung Electronics, all of them are seeing their rally. This rally have supported South Korea market as we speak now. The market is all by what 1%, and that is huge at this hour. And other companies in that region have supported that market to record this high. But like I just said, this result that came from TSMC, one of the stock and also the market in that region as one of the largest contract chip maker also has also posted stronger than expected Q4 numbers on Thursday. Market is still reacting to that, and also think that also signal that artificial intelligence fuel demand also have remained strong as we speak now. This is what is also at the particular stock itself. SM also has gained almost 2.1% right now as we speak. Recorded a high trade in Taiwan market that after US shares also sold over 4 points in that because it's an international company. You can see how investors are taking advantage. Like I say, any season is key. Also, others are still looking at the role of Hong Kong and also looking at also what is happening, in Japan. These are the things also that also affect market. Even when we saw some, some losses, in some sector, for this market are also looking a bit dicey because of what today is the last trading day. Expect that profit taking is part of what you see, and that is why anywhere in stock market will always oscillate and also give opportunity to buy low and stay high. But we believe that as China stock dip as a result of regulatory changes weighed on what on their Q4 GDP that has been await. But I believe that we're going to see that these changes, especially in their finance policy that have changed, is going to affect. But I believe that if the Q4 that all eyes will also come better, but don't forget that China has been performing so economic performance or GDP has been below expected. They only move, they make a point ahead in 1 quarter ahead. Next quarter they become flat. But let's see how the last quarter Q4 also look like. All eyes on that number. If it comes, it was going to also give a clear direction what is happening at this period of fall. Tariff discussion here and there. Exports going low or up. All these are going to play out and the GDP for the last quarter for the year 2020. If this figure, I believe that it will give market insight of what is happening with all the geopolitical tension are here. All eyes are still on world because the domestic product data that come from China due on Monday. I think that is where all eyes is on now. But I believe that will give a clue to what to expect to happen in the week we are expecting. That is next week. Today being the last trading day of the market. If you look at the other market in that Asia, I tell you that there has been a mixed bag around the market. Asia, Australia market is up by 0.6, and also as a result of strong gains in some tech company, healthcare, and also after the positive earnings that came from Postmaster Group also, and that of Morgan Stanley. All this also have also supported the market in that report. Don't forget that this company also in Singapore, we see the market is up by 0.3 as we speak, and that of India market as we speak right now so is sharply up by 0.7 as we speak, recovering on some ground after the turbulence on the heightened concern over Israeli trade ties with United States or or US, we can call it. This is forward for Asia market. Quickly look at what is happening in Europe. Yes, because of our time, we also have other things to do. Look at what is happening in Europe now. I'll tell you that there is still no fear, in that zone as European stocks also slide into red due to what the Greenland war is still in force as we speak. That also is part of what is weighing that market as we speak now. Even right away now, I think the week is also heading to end on a negative note as investors continue to work to look at the ongoing economic tension and development here and there, and that also have kind of affected all the indices in that region. As we speak now, I'll tell you that Germany, EAS is also down by 0.1, and that of France CAC 40 is also down by 0.2, and that of UK market, which is FTSE, is down by 0.1. I'll tell you, concern and all crisis as a Greenland also could also go for prompted and trading and all those stuff, and this is what's also weighing in that region. But I believe that yes, when you see all this kind of situation, investors or market analysts look at it to take advantage of what is going to happen because I will tell you something also will come with solution at the end of the day. But we're going to send some panic in the market and any pullback here, but for those companies that has also have a war for premium entering opportunity. That's why I said when you watch this market carefully, there's always way to navigate the market with information. That's why you must pay attention to it. And I mean Europe market also includes from Germany, France, Norway, Sweden, as many of them UK, all these they might all of them are all the same that they are also already having seeing what has become development. Troop also to the Greenland is also to show to show also support. Let's watch and see what happened at the end of the day. So I speak now, the German consumer price index for December, came earlier and also is flat on change. It was also a sign to see the impact of European central bank activities. Know that their target is what? It's about 0.2 million term target, and we're seeing inflation rate climbing to 1.8% on year on year, and also flat. But I believe that this also has as ECB has also kept rates on hold since the end of rapid rate cut cycle in June, and also signal last month that it was it's not in a hurry to change the policy again, since the economy is also surprisingly strong, and also we're looking at inflation no longer seems to be an issue. If this is what that means, we might see that the next ECB meeting is coming in early February, like next month. But I tell you that the semiconductors and other earnings that are coming are scheduled to come that zone, and these earnings also will show the European corporate sector how they are performed, and this at the end of the day will also impact on the market. Don't forget that this Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing has also released. These are where investors are playing around. But crude oil, and look at that, crude oil also dropped lower again, and it has pulled back again marginally, as we speak. But let's watch and see what it will end at the end of the day. But don't forget that this crude oil price has been oscillating even when there was crisis immediately when we saw the arrest of the Venezuela president and the wife. We expected the market to be a spike, but I don't know how US managing it. There was no spike to around 70 or 80, but still to speak now, even a marginal gain to speak, we're speaking at trading around the 3.85 right now as we speak in the global market. Let's quickly look at what is happening in US market before we come to Africa to see what is happening here in Africa. We need to also look at our market here, but before that, let's look at what is happening in market in the US market. Right now, to speak, I'll tell you that the US market is slightly in the green. On the strength, we are seeing that yes, the result that came from this tech company, the TSMC earnings also boosted AI trades, and this also has impacted the futures, I mean, for the index in that market. And as we speak, this market is looking up right now at this hour. And I'll tell you also that investors are also looking to more positive number coming. The one that came from the banks earlier also all I think that fresh numbers coming will also have a way of impacting the market. And I can see that gold price have restricted from record highs, and oil price is oscillating following what shift losses in some those markets. These are the things that will work this oscillation was attending in different market or commodity market, or that also guide what will happen. You see where good has come as people are around the world looking for safe haven, but as earnings are coming now, people are looking at people to take advantage of the earnings, and that's why I see that today we are seeing US market looking up, the last trading day of the week as a better high move was on such, some artificial intelligence companies result, and that also boost after the result that came from the last one on Thursday from TSM. Also earlier this week, I've also given insight of what we are likely to see, and that has changed sentiment. That as we speak now, that Jones is up by 0.2%. That of S&P is up by 0.4, and Nasdaq is also up by what 0.5. Now, take the major market indices in this US market is up. Now, you can see that there was a jump on Thursday, and that trend is trying to continue today as being fuel of supported by what the spike in what AI related names like Niva, Innovate, and also Applied Materials and other advanced micro device companies with either along in Europe and all we're seeing demand for them after this result. But many analysts in that zone are looking at studying and saying how this is going to make the market more attractive and other sector also releasing positive number might also trigger an up market, even when before now the expectation that the 2025 will be a bubble year, kind of bubble burst, but still the market is still up, have not burst, as expected or predicted by many analysts in that zone. But we are seeing that yes, the political tension developments here and there is also a concern as investor factor all these things into their decision. But I believe that as the share of this Taiwan company, what's it called, CSM is also looking up. It's also impacting other tech company as we speak at this last trading day of the week. We'll quickly move to what is happening in Africa. Before then, I'll tell you that the bank earnings that have been expected, are from Monday. Also, some also are due for release today. Want to see how also they're going to prepare the market for the next week. Also, being also as all eyes are still on some macroeconomic data as we speak. Let's go over to what is happening in Africa. Africa market also remain mixed as we speak now. If you look at what is happening, in South Africa and Egypt, also in Kenya and Ghana and Nigeria, I'll tell that we are seeing a mixed market, but positively, I'll tell that most of them are in green. That is also a good one for us as African data play in the local market as we speak. So quickly look at what is happening in NGX, our own local market here. Now, before we go further, I'll tell you the market data right now. As we speak, I know the market is up marginally. Now you can see from the chart, looking at the price call it index action, because this is the index for the market. But I think that the market are traded between 160,057.0 to 160,202.6. Right away as we speak, market is doing 160,235.44, representing 0.11%. And I think the market growth remains strongly positive. We're having 21 advancers as we speak and 6 decliner in the market. Good one that our market is still positive. Yes, yesterday we saw inflation figure that were released and we saw about 15 point something percent, and also as a rate of what the replace here where other other kind of ingredient or other how I put it now, is it factors or measures that also or bringing other factor other items, other items that we will also use to record to read inflation to what the basket, and that have made it for them to have use that December figure to have a rebase for the year. That means subsequently this is a new base we are saying to watch. Yeah, don't forget that inflation have also go as far as almost 12%, 12 or something, 14 for the last one before when I say this 15. For me, there's no issue since we know the reason why there's a spike a little, and I believe that they're going to do let's watch to guide us on what to do. But despite that, market is still very, very strong in our market here. And the reason why it's strong is because all eyes are still on the number that has been expected. And the number we have seen for the past 20 days, the market has been on upward trend. It was purely a technical rally. Then the earnings that was expected to give us, either we call it a earnings support rally to them or fundamental rally because on the strength of the number. But what we witnessed this technical rally and seeing a pullback yesterday, I am not surprised because it's a part of markets dynamic. Investors taking the profit they have made in the market is good because it's when it's so good that also create opportunity for people to buy. And that's why our topic today is NGX pullback, an opportunity to buy, or is it an end of the bull? Who will know if it's the end of the bull with what looking at some indicators and some factors that also will guide us in our discussion this morning. Yes, if I want to say that yes, the pullback any market is welcome and it's also part of market dynamics. No market remain up, no market remain down, and that is what the volatility or what we call it oscillation that stock market is known for. Anywhere in the world, the beauty of stock market that market will go up and come down, and as they go up, it creates opportunity for you to create wealth. When they pull back, okay, also people for people new entrants and for you to buy low. But there's always a strategy not to trade this market. And I said that strategy to how to trade good market earlier before now. But today we're looking at taking advantage of pullback to buy into the market. Yes, don't forget that when we say pullback, there are correction and other items we might use. Either correction, bear market, pullback. But this is a pullback because this is just a day after 20 days of rally. And also, we want to see, draw your trend line. If they pull back as they break down the trend line to see that there's a change, there's a shift in sentiment or a shift in direction. If not, yes, that means the market is still strong. And I'll tell you that market has stayed on different dimension for almost how many years. Our market has remained on what on a bull trend, a longer bull period we have seen the market post COVID-19, and that I'm not surprised that if you see market pullback, it's not to send a negative. If the factors that supported the market are saying that pullback is an opportunity for you to buy into value. But don't forget that also pullback on index also does not have much a lot to determine where you are going in the market. Why? Because yes, when we look at individual stock, because in our market today, the constitution of our index are we know that the high cap stocks have major impact. Today, we are seeing that even as the high cap stocks are gaining, we are seeing the medium cap, we are seeing the low cap stock also joining that rally. That means we are having a broad-based rally. But if you see a pullback a day as a result of profit taken in one of the high cap stocks or that, and you see that market is very, very positive in terms of market breadth, you need to also exercise patience and also change your strategy because that pullback is not sending a wrong signal, especially ahead of any season as we speak. We just discussed that some data that came from market event that we're expecting. I've seen that here. Reason why we saw a little uptick more in inflation. That means all eyes are still looking at what will be the outcome of MPC meeting. Don't forget that this year in our budget, our forecast for by CBN for inflation to be around 12 point. If that is achievable, but it's a forecast of also between this 12 and 16 or 15. It's possible for the year, but that will be good news from as high as almost at 32 that we have expressed before. Even when we know that there was rebase, but it also guide the world investment decision. But looking at the market now, I'll tell you that things we need to know when we are trading a pullback. But in a pullback, your eyes will not give way for volume, will not also give way for sentiment and money flow. And for that, we'll call these items up now to guide us to see the pullback we just saw yesterday. Is it a pullback that you and I should be panicking? No. Is it a pullback that we should not take advantage and jump in? And which are those stocks that also pull back? Do they have fundamental? Where are they going? Especially as the earning season is around the corner. It's not the time to panic, but rather it's the time to buy into value with the pullback we just saw in the market. Let's quickly call up some indicators that will help us to look at this pullback to confirm where the market must call up at this time. Let's go back to see our usual indicators because they play major role in analyzing your pullback, the strength of the market, and the weakness of the market. No, we must not do anything without calling up our T line. I say either you call your T line, you use your trend line, also you use your momentum, and also your money flow is very, very important. I don't joke with it in any of my analysis because it tells you what is happening in that market or that individual store. You must know its fund entering. Don't forget that this fund will also come from different of where you see that market is strong, volume is strong. We are seeing institutional investors, the smart money, they're bringing money, or there's policy shift in terms of interest rate. We are seeing a call. You can see, fund will start living one way from one other. But don't forget also that this year we are entering this first quarter. We are seeing some maturity that's coming from from all those fixed income instruments, and at the head of any season, what's going to are they going to play the market with those money that are coming at this maturity that we're seeing, and also the government also going through the market, we're seeing trading be what will be the rate. So these are the dynamics that we want to look at. I will tell you that on the strength of the numbers we expect, once we start seeing the management account or the unaudited account, will give us more insight to what we should be doing as traders or investors in this market. As we speak, that's why I said we must look at our T line. Look at our T line, how strong it is. Look at the pullback we're seeing, that was so sorry. You can see the pullback didn't affect the line. The line is still there, as a support to the trend so far. And they can see that this morning we also see market try to rebound. But I don't try to know so that we will not panic. But one thing that you not forget that because of the pullback, saw that the money flow saw not going down because of people to profit in the market, which is good. But you want to see how far will it go? Will it go to rebound? And from next week, you need to place no cause for alarm because as we speak, our MACD is still bullish. You can see that the MACD is still strong. But even when it's all marginal, downside there, we want to see what the market will end today. And money flow is still looking down, but marginally, below 100, which is around 90, 91. But we'll see, but it's far from that once I see money flow above 50, and now it's still above 50. And you can see that when it touched 100, was like trending. At this point, also it's trended before pulling back. But let's wait and see. There's no cost for now. But at this point, what the strategy we'll be looking at? Yes, we want to look at on the broader and also on the longer moving average. Yes, we can use 20, but as we have used our T line, which is 8 days moving average exponential, then that our market is still very much intact. I mean, the pullback also does not signal the end of the bull run at all. Rather, that pullback is an opportunity for you to buy into value. What are those companies that pullback? Yes, those that have followed us when we saw the pullback in me and Becca, we said nothing has changed as we are seeing others in that sustaining the momentum. And not only that, if you look at the fundamental of me and Becca, we mentioned what people that look at the chart, each type of method, you can see there are some stocks that are pulled back. You need to see what is happening in that sector because we're already seeing portfolio rebalancing, sector rotation ahead of the earnings season that will kick off from this unaudited account. Why by February we'll be seeing more of corporate action. But investors are taking advantage of what is happening in the market now to reposition their portfolio and invest wisely. And that is the only way you can go to protect to protect your trade. And now knowing what to do that if you pull back, you must at this point target company that you know that has apart from using your chart, your price action, to know. But now that we are seeing that the bull is still very much running, that the bull is still running, that means you are still having a bull run in the market because the T line saying that there's no cause for alarm. That means you are going to still use some of your bullish trading strategy that have to do with a bull market. You put back an opportunity to buy into buy. Those that also are just adjusted down and because of profit taking, not because of their fundamental situation, there's a disintegration or what attracted you earlier are not there again. But as a trader, you don't always have the word, your entry and your exit. Once you meet your target, that's why you are seeing those selling because they achieve their goals in that store. It's not that the company is bad, but for those that are not there, when they sell and it's market pulling back, you have to take advantage of it. And that is why when many investors are concerned and are calling me, is it end of the bull, the end of the vaccine? No, it can't be possible. Or have a major factor that will drive the price, ahead in this month of January. Once you start seeing the credit account coming to the market, that is why there's no cause for alarm for those that are also invest in the market with knowledge. People at times that follow background when they see all this kind of move at all, they start panicking, and that's why those that are following InvestData will trade this market with knowledge, will don't guess. And that's why I say, when we look at market structure, put the market structure is doing that yes, market is still an uptrend, even when you might say that's a distribution sign. The distribution sign is still very, very weak. Until we see this extending tomorrow, sorry, on Monday, we're not about to speak now, but that the market is still on the markup phase. Rather, let's watch what will close the market today. For me, the evidence in the market shows that we should not panic. Rather, we should pay attention on how to buy to value. Things that we should do here that we must pay attention to companies that we see that their earnings have been positive for quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, and also we are seeing positive macro also coming in the economy. And this is the first month of the year, and the first quarter of the year is the most active quarter in our market. That means those that are buy and hold, I say let us say number, you are not in a wrong position. You have to see, but those that want to enter, pull back is an opportunity for you to buy in and also stay with the market to see those numbers because you must be in the market or in the position or in the trade before the numbers start hitting the market. You must target those companies that have good quality, good quality. When I mean quality, good fundamentals. You have seen that their forward dividend, even their EPS. You have seen their 1 month performance in the chart. You have seen their year-to-date performance. Also 1 year and forward dividend of these companies. You also pay attention to it. Those high quality companies is where it should be. And today we are working about on 20 companies that will be publishing next week that are for the past 10 years what dividend they will dividend return if you are invested such return on 1 million investment or 100,000 investment, what you are doing today as a strategy that when you are expecting earnings well because the unaudited account is going to give you insight where the company is going in terms of a full year or the year that will come in before end of March. That means you must pay attention to this, as we have discussed. Also look at the upbeat, in the company financial and the outlook for the year 2026. Because these are major things because after we're saying any season for 2025, already we are the first month of them. By end of March, we'll also be saying first quarter. We must look at that and the company upbeat in terms of financials. Where are they coming from? Is there the push? Is there that tendency that they want to do well? Government policy, which sector is it doing favoring? What the outlook in terms of the financial risk sector? You must pay attention. Sound growth strategy for the companies. Pay attention because price feed or what on sentiment that come from all this fundamental. Yes, that is why I say for that we that use the chart or technical analysis, it is what fundamentals is that you see the action on the chart on the candlestick but there's something that is behind that. That's why you see more. That's why there's always a story behind a chart or on a candlestick or a chart. It tells you information, something behind. Go and check company that consistently grow their earnings, grow their payout. You see how their price has already dropped and also sustain that uptrend. There are many of them in our market today. You must pay attention to that at this point. That the pullback we're saying is not for any cause for alarm at all, but rather an opportunity to buy. And that's why I said it's not the end of what end of the bull run at the beginning of this discussion. That means a pullback an opportunity to buy. That means we must pay attention and buy to value using our price action and also the fundamental news of this company to take decision. On this note, I will say thank you here. But before I finally go out, I mentioned me and Baker. We want to see the chart pattern of that stock before I call it a day, so that it will help you to take decision when we are looking at the chart and also when you are trading on your own. You can see here. I know why I bring all the day. When it pull back, you can see there's a candlestick that is formed here. Whenever you see this candlestick formation, an uptrend where a stock will go up and they pull it down, that means sellers are stronger than what buyers. That's why it closed out. It's a sign of weakness. What do you see the next day? It started coming down before a rebound. Now it went up aside, they pull back again. Sellers are pushing it up again to this level. You can see that the red is that this swing here tell you that at this point when they are gone down low, buyers push it back again. And I see that there's some potential in this company, especially at this earning season appear come closer, and it's going to reveal a lot of things for the market, especially companies that we have seen have positive performance from the first quarter of 2025, and also we have seen their Q4, and now all eyes are still sorry, we have seen their third quarter, all eyes are on their last quarter performance and the unaudited account for the full year 2025. This will further give you direction. But what you do, you don't wait for the numbers, you position before ahead of those numbers as designing investor or smarter trader. Thank you. See you on Monday. Bye. Our first question and answer session also be holding tomorrow by God grace. If you are not in that group, an opportunity for you to register and also join that group where we bring experts. Everyone that they are experts for in the guy will share knowledge, question and answer, we will debate issue, we agree, just like consensus from what different investors having different because these are people that have like mind. Join us tomorrow. If you are not there, go and register and be in that class. For a whole year, registration is about 225,000 for registration for a year. If you pay this January, you are staying that class till December or early January 2027. God willing and by God grace. Bye. See you next week Monday on this platform. Bye.